Hello everyone, salut tout le monde, dépendez là qui est attendez show. It is Minister Camie here. We said greeting to you, shalom, shalom. We enter into your house with peace and we bring you joy. I don't know today if you're feeling as though you're under the weather, because you know that the weather is kind of like iffy, but you know, despite of what it is that you may face today, I want you to know that God is with you. I believe in Isaiah 46 where it says that God is our refuge. He is a strength for us in time of need, in time of trouble. So this today or this morning, this evening, whatever time that you're listening to this broadcast, whether if you're in the hospital or whether you're encountering a challenge that seems to be, you know, so high that you feel like, you know, wow, there's no hope. But I come to tell you today, there is hope in our God. There is peace in our God. And today I bring you the shalom of God. I bring you the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding. Let not your heart be troubled. Let not your heart be worried, because the Bible says that in everything by prayer and supplication, let your requests be made known unto God. So today, whatever it is that you have, let it known to God. Give it to Him. Surrender yourself to Him. Especially in the beginning of the year, man, I'm telling you, do not worry about anything. The Bible again says, while you're worrying about whatever it is, can you change it? No. Can you, if you were able, if you had the power to change whatever it is that you're worrying about now, you would have just snapped your finger and get it done. Now, because that you are not in that position to do so, let the one and only who is able to just snap his hand with a blink of an eye to do it for you. Because let me tell you something, by you worrying about it, you can't change it. Just leave it be. Let it be in the hand of the Most High God. So I am so happy to be here with you. As I said before, Minister Camie, I have a special guest with me. But before I bring the guest through, I want you to know with this show, please, every time you listen to us, like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. So before we enter into the break, I want to say hello to my guests. Hello.
Hello everyone, my name is EMMA Point du Jour, but everybody call Emma. It is such a pleasure for me to meet with Mr. Camie today. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you all of you for having me in your home, in your phone, wherever you're watching. Thank you so much. Thank you for receiving us. And I just wanted to say hi before we go into the break. So thank you so much. And please, before you go into that break, do like, comment, share, so that more people can benefit from the beautiful interview you're going to have today.
All right. So you already hear it from the both of us. Like, share, and subscribe. So again, I want to let you guys know, before we go to the break, we will have a little video that we'll go through about Assured for Life. Please listen to that video because it's very important. It's some information that is helpful for your family. Again, you know what we do, how we, you know, give you 7 people for your family to cover them for only $70 a month. Just listen to that little clip. It's only like about 2 minutes barely. And then get the information. And if you need us, our number 561-313-5979. Again, we'll go to the break. We'll be right back.
To love is to protect. The ones you love, with whom you laugh every morning, who are there to listen to you and wipe your tears in the most difficult moments, are your companions forever. The reason to live harder every day. Have you thought about how to protect them and protect yourself when one is missing? We know the most important thing is your family's peace of mind. That's why at Assure for Life, we have designed plans to provide you with assistance, guidance, and protection from the loss of a loved one. All it takes is a phone call, and Assure for Life will take care of the funeral expenses and manage the funeral arrangements for you and any of your members, so you and your family can dedicate this time to honor and celebrate the life of your loved one. Over the last 70 years, we have been there for more than 250,000 families in the United States, Latin America, and the Caribbean in the moments they have needed us the most. Our funeral assistance plans can protect up to 7 people, regardless of your relationship, in a safe and affordable way. Our services include funeral services in the coverage areas, transfer of the deceased to a local funeral home, cemetery, or crematorium within the United States, transfer of the deceased to the country of origin in the coverage area, airline ticket for the plan holder to attend the service of his or her loved one. Our funeral network allows us to cover every city and country in the coverage area, providing an excellent service. We have thought through every detail because we want to give you the security and peace of mind that you need, protecting your family with a beautiful gesture of love.
All right, so today we are back here with our guests. Again, it's a privilege every time that God gave us the honor to be here. We are always happy to go to your home and speak with you. And today we wanted to speak to our guest, EMMA, that is here. It's a privilege to have her in the show. So our topic today, we're just going to be talking to you freely. Our topic will be, challenging, the status quo as a single mom.
Yep.
So this woman here, well, I don't have any kids yet, but she has a single mom. I'm sure there is so much that she can tell, us, especially me who doesn't have no kids yet, and what I can stay away from when I do have kids. And for those of you that already have kids, the challenge that you face as a single mom. So EMMA, what are some of the challenges that you face as a single mom?
I would say that unfortunately in our culture, mainly the Haitian culture, they feel like when you're a single mom, your life is over. And I think when my ex-husband and we got divorced, my son was 2 months old.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So that's really young. So that's
my son was 2 months old. I wasn't working. So I'm sure all my friends were like, is she crazy? Like, oh, I would just put up. Am I with the nonsense?
Yeah.
Why do you have to say no? That's not going to be my situation. And the reason why I didn't fight the separation is because I didn't want my son to grow up in an environment where there's always
hostility.
Hostility, because that's toxic, that's unhealthy, that's not normal.
Right.
I would like, I'd rather be eating ramen noodles, which is exactly what happened. I said I'd rather be eating ramen noodle with peace than dealing with your cheating.
It's so crazy that our culture, they rather stay in a relationship that is so toxic, where the person either beating them, cursing them, not really giving them what they need, but then they would rather, just because they don't want people to talk about them or to hear about what's going on, they rather stay in the toxic relationship. Like why?
The reason why a lot of us would put up is because, first of all, the Haitian culture didn't do anything to protect women.
Yeah, that's true.
Up until my generation, women didn't really have a professional or degree. They didn't encourage us to have a degree. Listen, if you're a secretary, you have a degree. What else do you want? Like, if you come from an upbringing, you can be an engineer, a doctor, but most of us, we didn't really they didn't push us to have a degree. They pushed us to get married to somebody that is stable and then start having baby. So right. What happened when the men start cheating or things are not working out? You're stuck. Because you need to be financially stable. And unfortunately, our parents didn't prepare us for that. The other issue you mentioned is like, why would somebody stay in a toxic marriage? Why would you stay where somebody is belittling you, telling you nonsense, beating you up on a daily basis and cheating on you, because that's what we are known for. But the reason why is because nobody taught us how to love ourselves.
That's true.
Because to me, if I love myself, why would I put up with your nonsense? And one of the things that God has blessed me to do, I had to learn to love myself. I had to learn to love EMMA.
Yes, that's important.
The thing is, in Haiti, we love without love. Like, because I started telling people, when somebody tell you they love you, tell them define love. To a man, if you provide for you, even if he's cheating, even if he's getting love. All kind of sexual disease and bringing it home, he still loves you because he provide. To some men, he's in the house with you, he's beating you up. But he's in the house, he didn't leave you.
But let's say some of the women, they love that though. It's not.
Oh yeah.
Some women, for them to walk, they got to get the beating.
And that's exactly what I said. You don't love yourself. I've encountered that. But let's bring it a little bit closer home. What do we do when we're raising a kid in Haiti? How do we discipline kid? How do we discipline kid? We beat them up.
Beat them up.
So why would that kid, when they become an adult, not welcome getting beat up?
Because that's what
love,
they're used to.
That's what love is for them. Love is my parents hitting me. You know, in Haiti, we don't discipline with belts.
No discipline.
We hit them. We do whatever.
With whatever it is, they're fine. Whether if it's a cup or shoe.
So when that person becomes an adult, and their husband bow, they're like, oh, but that's how my daddy used to discipline me. And they don't realize your daddy was crazy. Maybe your daddy, don't blame the daddy, because it's a generational curse. That's a generational curse.
Absolutely.
So to me, I don't even blame the woman or blame the man. I think I suppose, so tell me a little bit about your family history. We need to address those things. We need to address how did your dad behave with your mom? How did your granddaddy
behave with your grandmother?
Monsieur Charles, tout moun connaît dans quartier, like the pep of the neighborhood, and you have a lot of siblings you don't know about.
Right.
Is that why you're so comfortable with your men cheating on you? Except that now there's something called AIDS, gonorrhea, herpes. We have to be careful. So to me, I would say that the biggest challenge to go back for single women is because they didn't prepare us to become single women when life happened. And it doesn't mean to a divorce or separation. The person can die also.
Yeah.
Some women didn't become single women because their husband or their boyfriend left them. It can be because your husband died.
Absolutely.
And that person is going to suffer if they didn't have a plan B, C, D, E, F, G.
Absolutely.
They're going to suffer as much as somebody that went through a divorce. So to me, I think when I talk about challenging the status quo, is we have to start changing the mentality at, because I have a man, I have everything. No, baby. When you have God, you have everything.
Amen.
Okay? But when you have a man, stuff happens. Your man doesn't have to leave you for you to become a single mom. Your man can die.
Sometimes you can be in the house with the men, or say for instance you had a husband, you can be in the house with a husband and still be single. Because of the thing that he's doing, he's not giving you attention, he's not, it's like you there, it's like you're a zombie in the house. Like, he going out there doing everything. I mean, vice versa. It's not only the men. It can be a woman, the men can be, I have to be fair with the men, okay? I'm not going to sit there beating the men. We love y'all, okay? Because seriously, we tend to do that a lot, like beating up the. I know there are some men, they are no good, but at the same time, there are some female, they are no good as well. The same way that the man is going out there cheating and doing different kind of stuff is the same way you have a female. They don't respect their men. They don't know what it is. Okay, I have a man home, I need to behave properly. They go out there, doing all kind of crazy stuff. So you cannot expect that man to be faithful to you while you out there, shaking your bum.
Okay, so to me, this is my answer to this. What I realized, I'm 47 years old. I have to say, because I might look younger, black don't crack. But I'm 47 years old, and I got to watch a lot of people. And what I realized is very rare to find a man that is a good provider, a good husband, and a good father. If you find those three, you're blessed. You're blessed, because a man can be a good provider and suck as a dad. That doesn't mean he's a bad person.
Right.
So a man might be in the house not paying attention to you. That doesn't mean he doesn't love you or his children. That doesn't mean you are not a single woman.
Right.
He's provide. And again, who taught him how to be a husband?
Exactly.
Who taught him how to be a father? Because we have to realize that we don't discuss those things.
Yeah.
We get married, have sex. You married, you have kids now. We give people title without giving them the experience.
Exactly.
But when you go to school, you have to spend 2 years to get an associate degree. You have to get 4 years to get a bachelor, and then if you want a master. But we're just giving title husband, father.
Exactly. Because the thing is, some of us, we want to carry the name I'm married, or I want to be called my husband. Oh, I want to be called the wife. I want to be called, but really in reality, they don't, just like you're saying, they don't have what it takes to be a wife. They don't have what it takes to be a husband, because we think it's going to, just wear this white robe and then, go home with our makeup box. And then when the men started, when the marriage started getting challenging, we don't know how to handle it. Why? Because then nobody teach us.
And to me, and that's why I preach so much about mindset shift. My thing is, that's why I said you didn't go to school, but the Bible said the older generation should teach the younger one.
Absolutely.
Why is the older generation?
There's none of that.
Okay, because first of all, the older generation is faking it also.
Oh.
Because I remember one time when I started having problems with my husband, and I went to one of my uncle, and I was like, "Hey, you've been married for a long time. Give me some advice." He looked at me with this funny air.
I don't have anything to give you.
He was like, "Girl, we're all in this battle. What are you talking about? Give you advice?" And I'm talking about somebody that was married for over 20 years. And I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Then I'm in trouble. So my thing is, and I do know we're all in this battle. So
Right.
my thing is, but share with me. You don't have to share your business with somebody and still give them advice. So my thing, I would say, I would tell to the woman, you cannot properly love your kid if you don't love yourself. Listen, my son would tell you, if mommy don't feel like it, mommy don't feel like it. If mommy is sick, I'm not going to kill myself. It's gonna I have to be okay first.
Right.
Because if I'm not okay, I cannot take care of you.
You can't.
Second of all, I would encourage the woman, instead of, let's say you're in a situation where you find yourself to be a single mom, don't look for another man. Another man will not solve your problem. Actually, it might even become worse, because that man is not stupid. They're going to realize they're an ATM machine for you. Maybe,
A lot of people too. Yeah, you're right. But you go ahead, finish what you say.
Maybe it's time to consider maybe going back to school. And I know for some people, especially when you have young kids, it's not always easy. I went back to school to get my bachelor degree. My son wasn't even a year old. And I just I need to provide a better life for my son, even if there's not a man in the story. So to me, maybe consider going back to school. And if that's not an option, you need to sit down, because I do believe if we're all Christians, if we're all made in God's image, God put gifts in you.
Absolutely.
My gift is my mouth. I tell people I was always a talker. You don't need to wonder what Emma is gifted. She talks a lot. So my thing, you who is looking at me, are you really gifted in cooking, for example? You know, some people, they take basic thing and they make you a dish. You're like, whoa, you make this, you take the same information. You can. So my thing is, maybe it's time for you to sit down with yourself and be like, what gifts did God give me? What can I do to make extra income? Because trust me, a lot of women wouldn't be in promiscuous relationship if they were financially stable.
That's one aspect, but mainly, I think a huge aspect of that is self-love. I think everybody have to, come to a point where they love themselves enough, knowing that they are content with themselves, because that's another problem that we have. People, run to from relationship to relationship. They don't allow themselves to be single, be alone, to find out who they are, or what creativity that they have within, to bring that to the table. Because they're running from relationship to relationship, they basically giving themselves out there as though they some type of prostitute.
Of course, to that I would say, and that's why I said, after my divorce, I had to spend some time with Emma. That's the scariest thing for any human being, unless you've been through it. Introspection is not something people like to do. People don't like to sit in their darkness, because learning to love yourself means sitting in your darkness. Your darkness is not always pretty, wouldn't you agree? Because you might discover things about yourself that there's something that husband told you, petite maman, ras papa, and then when you sit in the darkness, you're like, oh, c'est petite maman.
Well, listen, listen, the thing too, you have to, that's where it comes. Because if you don't like to sit with yourself, if you don't like yourself, you cannot expect somebody to like or to want to sit with you. Because that's why I said, for anyone, you have to be content within. You have to be, how would I say, be a whole with you, so that's somebody else. Because if you don't have anything to offer yourself, what is it that you're going to have over that somebody?
The thing is, it's not that we don't have anything to offer, or we don't even.
We know. We do. Oh, everybody in this planet Earth have everything it takes, because just like we mentioned earlier, God created all of us with special gift. It's just that we don't take the time to find out what those gifts are. We're running here, running there, and we don't take the time to find us. And trust me, if you are to be someone that's serving God, sooner or later, God will place you in a position where you would have to be alone. You would have to stay, okay, now I got to get to know Cammie. And when you sit in that moment, then you begin to realize, God started opening your eyes to see people differently, making you see just so much thing that you weren't aware of. You become to be aware of a lot of stuff. And those stuff are good stuff. They basically make you who you are, bring you so much knowledge.
Yes.
So it's important for someone or whoever who is listening, it's important to know who you are and who you are in Christ. And if you don't know Christ, 2024 is the time for you to put him in your bosom.
Yes, no, listen, I always
if we were
tell
to call
people,
it that way. Yeah.
The woman that you see in front of you today won't be here without God. Like I said, when most people around me, and I think even some family member were like, she crazy. Like, why would she live? Why would she agree to the separation? Because I had nothing going on for me. Sometimes I like to, from time to time, go on social media and take those old pictures, those ramen noodle years, to show people those eating greens, because that's what you can afford here, so that you don't think that I was always like that. Your life will not be over as a single mom if you trust God. That's what I did. So, at that time, I was making $10.83 an hour. I always like to tell people, when I remember my first paycheck, my son was 6 months. The paycheck was like $5.36, and I was like, $5.36? I'm like,
how do you live on that?
I was like, is that for 1 week? They were like, no, that's 2 weeks. I was like, my car at that time was $275. So I have to pay insurance. I have to put my son in daycare. How do you expect me to live like this? And when, I'm not ashamed to say, I reached out to the Medicaid, the government assistant, they told me I'm making too much money. I only have one child. What's the problem? I was like, say what? So to me I had to go to the only person that could change my life and my son's life, which is God. So I will never stop telling people, you can never ever go on going to God.
So if I were to back on asking a question, I would say, why do you think life is so hard for a single mom?
Again, like I said, because we are in a culture that wasn't, it's like when they say some part of the Constitution didn't have a certain group in their mind when they were making it. It's the same thing. When society, whether even in American society, when society was being built, it was built by men, and it wasn't built as the idea that women could be separated.
Well, at the time, we have to know that woman was not really speaking like that, they was not giving us the opportunity like right now we're in TV doing all these. Women was not, we didn't have those opportunities that we have now.
So that's exactly what I said. Challenge your status quo, create your own path. Do you think somebody would have come to you and say, Cammie, I'll give you this opportunity, or did you have to create it yourself? It's the same thing. To me, this is the idea. If it's one idea that I want the women listening to, and even the men, because we all can learn from something.
Right.
When you keep waiting for opportunity, you're wasting time. You're wasting your brain cell, because something you could have done at 35, you're not going to be able to do it at 45. Something you could have done at 25. So when you realize there is this passion in me for something that I want to do, even as a single mom, your brain cells should not be, oh, let me find another man, or let me find somebody, or I'm waiting for that person to give me an opportunity. Your brain cells should be, what can I do to bring that passion to change my life, because that's what I did. I was barely sleeping at night, not because I was like, okay, what can I do? What can Emma do? And at each step, whenever I felt stuck, I went back again to the drawing board in my mind and was like, Emma, at this point in your life, what can you do? You seeing me in welcoming me in your home today is me asking myself, what can I do for other women now? So to me, we have to be at peace with the fact that we are living in a society that wasn't created for single women. However, there are so many opportunities that, as you said, women have today that our grandma didn't have, our mother didn't have. So now, if you're putting up, it's a choice. You don't have to put up.
So what was your strategy as a single man? What was the strategy that you used to keep yourself happy as a single mom?
What I did is, again, I'm going to go back to mindset. You have to think positive. A lot of people, especially Christian, they think that going to, every time the church is open, they're there, they're praying, they're this, they're that, tout jeune qui gagne, tout veille de nuit, they're always there. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but a lot of Christians use the church as a drug. Yes, I know what I mean, because I have friends that are like that. Sometimes you need to sit down and think about life. And that's what I did. After I went to the church, after I listened to the message, then I talked to Emma. You have to learn to talk to yourself. You have to learn to tell yourself, this is not going to be my situation for the rest of my life. This is a temporary situation. And you don't say it because, oh yeah, but je vais changer situation. Stop that. Because sometimes God expects us to take the certain step to change our situation. But if you never sit down and allow the Holy Spirit to talk to you, how would you know what to do? So to me, the thing is, I had to sit down and talk to Emma. So that's why before my son turned 1, I went back to school to get my bachelor degree. After I got my bachelor degree, okay, you people paying me $10.82 an hour, no, that's not happening anymore. I have a bachelor degree. What's the next step? So that's when my hustling spirit kicking. I never knew I was such a big hustler. Listen, I got job with my mouth. I would go and interview and my mouth would get, but what if, for example, I was like, well, you know, I'm a single mom. My husband didn't want me. And by the way, I grew up without a father also. So I could have said, oh, look at all those men that abandoned me. Blah, blah, blah. No, I was like, there's better out there and I want that better. So that's one of the way that I kept myself going.
So one more question. If you were to say, emotionally, how did you survive as a single mom, you know, emotionally? What advice that you can give to a single mom that felt like emotionally they can't, you know, cope with life? What was your experience on surviving emotionally?
Find yourself some good friends. Listen, we are not an island. We cannot do this alone. And not every friend is a good friend. Some friends are there just for joke. There are days you just need somebody to tell you a joke. Some friends are there to just give you their ears for you to talk.
Right.
There are days I'm calling this person because I just want to talk. So find yourself friend. Some of my friends, they'll say, hey Emma, let's go to a party. You need that also. Don't think that you need to talk to people. So, yeah. You need to listen to positive message. It can be a preacher, but it can also be a personal development message. That's going to keep you, and you have to keep telling yourself every day, this is temporary because I decide it's going to be temporary. God opened my eyes so I can see the next step to change my situation.
All right, you guys, there you have it. That was our main guest was Emma, and you get all the advice that she brings to you today about, you know, being a single mom. You know, it's important to not being an island because, you know, no man is an island. So you do need to have friends, good friend. I mean, you know, people that can give you great advice, you know, so that if you are in a situation right now that you felt stuck in that situation, there's help out there. Don't be afraid to ask for help because a lot of us, we tend to be very, you know, within ourselves or prideful. and we don't want to ask for help. There's help out there. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed to ask for it. It doesn't matter if you have to go to the government. Listen, every last of us has to start somewhere, okay? Whether if it's picking up, food from somebody's table, or, it doesn't matter. Don't be, because your situation right now doesn't have to make you, okay? Your status right now is just right now, but you can work your way up with God, okay? Because you can't do it alone. Anything you do in this life, I would advise you to put God to be the center of everything. And with that, trust me, you will just keep flying. So, Miss Emma, so say for instance, because I know you do have a new newsletter that you do. You want to just say a few minutes, because we have to stop.
You can, anybody that wants to get to know me or wants to get more advice, you can either go on my website, which is Emma, EMMA, Point du Jour, PoInDujour.com. So I'm hoping they're going to put it at the bottom, EmmaPointDuJour.com, where you can subscribe to my newsletter and read some of my past blog. And also, you can reach out to me on Instagram, Facebook. I'm here for you all. I want you guys to know this is not the end. Your life doesn't have to end like this. We can change it, because the person again that you see today, if you see my picture 16 years ago, if you hear about my ramen noodles day and grits day, that's not how it was. So again, thank you again, Camie, for having me here. It was such a great pleasure. I'm hoping we can do this soon again. And thank you all for having me in your home. And do not be afraid to reach out to me. And I do speak Creole, by the way.
All right, you guys. Again, to all the For Gospel lover out there, we want to say thank you for allowing us to come to your home. Again, be with the peace of God. And I want to encourage each and every one of you that's out there, if you have a business out there and you need a platform for your business, please call Director Alan Daphnis, and he is able to give you that platform, whether if it's the radio or a TV, just like I'm doing here. He'll be able to give you that platform to do likewise. His phone number is 561-255-3909. Again, it's 561-255-3909. Call Director Alan Daphnis for any business that you have out there that you would like the community to know about. Again, for a Short for Life, please call 561-313-5979. Again, it's 313-5979-561. It was a pleasure to be with you. It's Minister Camie. So we will see you next time. Emma, say help. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. And again, you know how to reach me. It's www.emmapointdujour.com. Again, www.emma.poindujour.com, or look for me on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn. Thank you so much.
Alrighty, you guys. It was a pleasure. I will talk with you next time. Stay with the peace of God. See you later. Bye-bye.